Back now, just about 7:40 on this Sunday morning. This year's presidential campaign has a lot of people thinking about diversity in this country. Even has some employers thinking about their workforce. And joining us this morning is Natalie Holder-Winfield, the author of Recruiting and Retaining a Diverse Workforce, New Rules for a New Generation. Welcome. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Everyone obviously is talking about the election. It is obviously historic in so many ways. What kind of influence is that having on workplaces across the country?
I think that it's definitely raising the conversation. I think that with Barack Obama recently having the speech regarding race in this country, so many people are now tuning into the idea that diversity is an important issue for America's businesses, corporations, and just our marketplace.
It would seem that this is something that people have been or thinking about for a long time, but does it really take something like this, some kind of national spotlight event, to really drive it home?
It's a great catalyst. It's a great catalyst to keep the conversation on the front burner as opposed to the back burner.
What kind of impact is that actually having now? The discussion is starting, but what are employers really starting to do to make sure that they can hire that diverse workforce they need?
Well, employers are starting to implement a number of recruiting and retention strategies. They're starting to really look at what are some of the issues that are causing their employees from underrepresented backgrounds to not want to stay in their work environments. You know, I help organizations so many times to develop and craft programs that are designed to really hone in on some of the top 10 barriers that I've found in my work that employees encounter that make them say, this is not such a cool experience, I want to get out of here.
And that's one of the biggest problems is they may be there, they may apply for the job, they may get the job, and they may not stick around. What are some of the biggest of those top 10 barriers that you find?
One of the top 10 barriers is the absence of informal mentoring. Now, informal mentoring is not the typical, I buddy up with you because our employer has told us to.
Right.
It's the I'm going to pull you aside and let you
Take
know.
you under my wing kind of thing.
Exactly. It's that, informal feedback that you get when you've done a great job. It's that informal feedback that you get when you haven't done such a great job. It's those little conversations that really add up or take away your confidence in the workplace.
Is this something that's happening among other groups in an office, but not necessarily for minorities, or is it just not happening at all?
I find that for the most part, when people find themselves in the minority, so if it's that you're a racial minority, a gender minority, or even that you come from a different socioeconomic background from everyone, let's say you came from a small farm in Iowa, and now you're working in New York City, you are someone in the minority in New York City. We find that those are people who are often marginalized in the workplace and are not receiving that kind of informal mentoring because the people who mentor just don't feel like they have anything in common with those people who are in the minority.
The biggest thing about someone taking someone under their wing is kind of seeing a little bit of themselves in that person, in that subject. And I guess that it's important to kind of, I guess the ball gets rolling on this and it can really kind of grow, but it has to start somewhere.
Absolutely. It's the identity factor. If I see myself in you, then I'll more likely take you under my wing and try to show you the ropes and try to make sure that you avoid many of the pitfalls that I went through in my work environment. But so many times it's a two-way street for the employer and for the employee. Career development is all about the employer making sure that they give the employee the resources they need to succeed. And on the flip side, it's all about the employee also advocating for him or herself.
Taking advantage of those opportunities.
Absolutely, inviting yourself out. If you find that, as a colleague of mine likes to say, you're like Rudolph. You don't get to play on any reindeer.
No reindeer games.
Right,
for
if
you?
you're not able to play on any reindeer games, invite yourself out. Make sure that you're included in what's going on in the office.
Last question, just a few seconds left. Are you optimistic? Are we going in the right direction?
I think we are. I absolutely think that we are.
All right, Natalie Holder-Winfield, thanks so much for coming in. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. If you want more information on her, the book, the issues we just discussed, you can find it on the website, WTNH.com. Click on the Good Morning Connecticut Weekend section of the site. 7:44 now, we'll get the Sunday forecast, take a peek at the work week ahead. When we come back, Matt Scott watching things for us. This is Good Morning Connecticut on News Channel 8. 7:46 now. A peek at the week ahead finally reveals a little spring in the air.
I think
in terms
so.
of the temperatures, anyway.
Well, yeah, and it's about time there. Now, April, you know, we talk about, all morning we've been talking about the famous saying, March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Yeah.
What's the April saying?
April showers. Yeah, all right, good.
We
Well, as long as we're staying on track with those things. That's why those sayings became sayings, because they're usually true.
Whoever created it wasn't just making it up,
Yeah.
you know, it just actually happens to ring true. And so that's what we're going to deal with. Take a look outside now. It looks great. As a matter of fact, March very lamb-like today. More sunshine on the way. It's been a great weekend for that. The winds have calmed down considerably. Temperatures remaining under normal for today. Again, should be in the low 50s. We were nowhere near that yesterday. Today, a little better, but still not quite into the ballpark. And in the 8-day, we'll answer the adage, whether it ends like a lion or a lamb, and then head into April as well. Temperature-wise, still chilly. 19 in Warren, 20 in Washington, not much better. 21 in Torrington. Everyone else in the low to mid-20s. We're now starting to see some upper 20s creep up. Oakdale, Mystic with the chart topper right now at 28 degrees, 26 Westport, 24 in Danbury. Nothing to talk about on the satellite and radar in review. We are clear, we are quiet, and that's the way it's going to stay all day long. High pressure still in control, beginning to weaken a little bit. It'll reverse the flow today. It'll be more easterly. Cloud coverage starting to work its way in through Pennsylvania. Not much to worry about that yet, but you do see at the bottom left of your screen a little bit of rain. That's part of a warm front that will lift up in our direction, get here by tomorrow afternoon, and that'll be the first of 2 rounds of rain. Warm fronts don't usually bring a lot of rain with them. It's the cold fronts that do, and well, would you know it, the cold front is off to the Midwest, and yeah, the cold front is bringing a lot of thunderstorminess to Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern Illinois, pushing into Indiana. They don't need it. I mean, you know, we've been talking for the last couple weeks about the flooding problems, especially across the Midwest, with the thought this does not help, and this will eventually be moving into our neck of the woods by Tuesday. Here's microcast. I'll zip through today because there's just nothing to show you. It's on. I promise you that. High temperatures into the mid to upper 40s, mostly sunny skies, not as windy. Again, should be in the low 50s, so we got a little room to grow there. Now, for tomorrow, here comes the first band of rain, part of that warm front. That warm front will allow that southerly flow to kick in. Temperatures Tuesday are going to jump. But then we got some rain, that second band of rain, to deal with part of that cold front. As that swings through, will allow the temperatures to drop down again. By the end of the week, we'll be back up to normal. And you'll see that in just a moment. A few developing clouds. Tonight, 31 to 27 year overnight lows. So certainly warmer tomorrow morning at the bus stop than what we have this morning. Mid-40s for tomorrow with the clouds there. Second half of the day tomorrow around the rain. Overnight into Tuesday and throughout Tuesday, a lot more rain. Look at the jump from 45 to 62. Then behind that rainmaker comes cooler temperatures again. We'll look for temperatures to be in the upper 40s for the end of the week with another opportunity for some April showers. And then by the weekend, we're good to go. As always, you can get the forecast on the go. Mobile, WTNH.com.
Because just knowing that March comes in like a lion, out like a lamb, and April showers bring May flowers isn't quite enough of a forecast. You need a little bit more than that.
I could just go off by saying April showers bring May flowers and then take the month of April off. I don't know if management's going to appreciate my efforts, though.
No, probably not. All right.
Audience may feel differently, but I don't know what the bosses are going to say.
Today's Mug for a Mug, it is Thomas Clark of Weathersfield, sent to us by proud grandmother Lynn Ward. He's checking things out the window there. He loves to watch squirrels and birds outside his